Hi, I'm Bill Gilman, managing editor for Play NJ.
And I'm David Danzis, lead writer for Play NJ. Bill, we're here outside of Bally's Atlantic City, a beautiful day on the world's most famous boardwalk. And this is our first episode of Atlantic City Boardwalk Talk 2022.
It's been a while since we were together down here, but as you can tell behind us, there's a lot going on, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, so before we get into what's happening, let's just take a step back and look at 2021 and the year that was. You know, two of the three gambling segments that you and I pay attention to here in New Jersey, they had record-setting years.
Right.
You know, online gambling and sports betting here in New Jersey both posted record numbers for the year. What does that tell you about what's happening here in the state of New Jersey when it comes to people gambling on their phones and their laptops?
It's just the way society is now. It's like the convenience of gambling from your kitchen table, the sofa, while you're laying in bed. You can't sleep in the middle of the night, whatever it is. It's the convenience of gambling, the 7-Eleven of gambling, so to speak. I know you and I, in previous episodes, have debated how high these numbers can go, and yes, we saw 11 months last year where online casino revenue was over $100 million, 133 million record for December all time.
Yep.
But it's just like, I think in the back of my head, how much higher can it go? Are we going to see $140 million a month? Because prior to 2021, we never saw $100 million a month in online casino revenues. I don't know where you
Yeah, and I mean, those of you trying to kind of do the math in your head, right? Bill mentioned 11 months over $100 million. For the year, that equated to $1.33 billion in revenue from online gambling. And really, there's no way to sugarcoat this. COVID accelerated online gambling, right?
True.
With the casinos being closed, not just here in Atlantic City, but all over the country, people were exposed to different ways of entertainment and passing the time. And online gambling really COVID was almost rocket fuel for online gambling. But we saw a direct correlation between online gambling and sports betting.
Right.
Sports betting had a record year here in New Jersey as well, over $10 billion bet for the entire year.
Crazy.
4 months consecutive over $1 billion. 940 some odd million dollars in revenue from online sports betting. I mean, New Jersey really staked its claim as the king of sports betting.
Right.
We know that reign is about to be short-lived. It's no secret now. New York has launched online sports betting. Their success has been absolutely astronomical. And I think, Jersey's days as the sports betting leader are all but dead as you and I stand here and talk about it today.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I saw a number last week, and I couldn't believe it. I actually asked a bunch of random people. I said, the first 9 days of online sports betting in New York, how much do you think was wagered? And I couldn't, it's over $600 million. I mean, that's 9 days. That's not even half a month.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the first month might be over $1.5 billion. Easy.
I think it's easy over $1 billion for sure. And, we talk about the success of online gambling and sports betting. And the other segment that we cover at Play NJ are the Atlantic City casinos. And unfortunately, for the year, the 9 casinos here in Atlantic City were actually down.
Right.
2 of the 7 were up, right? The 2 newcomers, if you will, although they're not so new anymore. But Ocean Casino Resort and Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Atlantic City were the only 2 who actually posted year-over-year increases from pre-pandemic 2019 to 2021. So the industry's still in recovery mode, right? And a lot of people just can't seem to really grasp that concept that because we're seeing these huge numbers from online and sports betting, that there's less people actually walking through the doors of the casinos nowadays,
right.
And that's having a direct impact. With that being said, there is a positive, there is a silver lining, and that's that the casinos here in Atlantic City are still investing in their properties. Now, I want to be clear. A lot of that reinvestment is ordered by state gaming regulators, right? For those of you who have been keeping track of this kind of stuff, several of the properties in Atlantic City have changed ownership in the past couple of years, right? We had a hostile takeover over at Ocean. Caesars Entertainment was bought out by El Dorado Resorts. Subsequently, Bally's was sold to an independent company formerly called Twin River. There's been a lot of changeover. Borgata, MGM has taken full control over Borgata over the past couple of years. So a lot of this reinvestment that we're seeing is required when those changes in ownership happen. Nonetheless, it's still happening. And as you can see behind us here, Some of you might recognize this space. This used to be Harry's Oyster Bar right here at Bally's Atlantic City in the middle of the boardwalk. There's a new concept coming in, and we'll have some details for you on Play NJ, a story coming shortly. We can't really tell you a whole lot yet. What we do know is it's going to be a multi-story indoor and outdoor entertainment complex. It'll have food and beverage and all that good stuff. But, for your money, you and I have talked about this. This is probably the most ideal location on the Atlantic City boardwalk. So really, we're keeping our fingers crossed that Bally's hits a home run here. It really gives us something special on the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's Park Place on the boardwalk. That's prime real estate on the Monopoly board for those who play Monopoly in their spare time.
The world's most famous address, right? Park Place and boardwalk. But it's not just here at Bally's that we're seeing reinvestment. Right next door at Caesars Atlantic City, they're redoing some of their hotel rooms. We got news that we actually broke first on Play NJ about a new sports book coming to Ocean Casino Resort, right? It's going to be in the same location. They're really just kind of redoing that space and making it more consumer friendly. But we're seeing reinvestment all over the city. And we're going to end on one of our favorite sort of topics to talk about, and that's the Showboat.
Right.
And there is a new project coming to Showboat. And I'm going to leave this one to you because I know how excited you are about this one.
Yeah. So there's the word water park is something we've heard over and over again. And it's like a broken record. And it's not just at the Showboat. There was the former Atlantic Club. There was a couple water park concepts there. But they actually finally broke ground on the water park coming to the Showboat. I forget what the name of it is.
Island Water Park. We're on Absecon Island, folks. Yeah. For those of you who don't know that, Atlantic City is on Absecon Island.
Yeah. So we'll have to we sit back and wait and see if and when it happens. And the bigger question is if it does get built and when it does get built, how much of a success will it be? Does the Atlantic City have a draw for a year-round indoor water park? This whole concept of let's make Atlantic City more family-friendly. The concept for an indoor water park, yes, for family-friendly, great idea. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's a success, that really depends on how it's marketed, whether it's draws a crowd, and so we'll probably take bets on the side as to how we think it'll play out. But for those who are wondering what happened, they broke ground.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to keep you up to date with all the stuff going on here in Atlantic City. We're going to get back into our groove, doing Atlantic City Boardwalk Talk more frequently. Don't forget to hit that like button under the video. You can subscribe. Make sure you guys get all the notifications when we put out new videos. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we're really fortunate to have Whiskey Week come to Bally's Atlantic City in 2022, giving our guests a full experience of the wonderful world of whiskeys. There are so many different whiskeys around the world that people want to try, and we just have a great opportunity to showcase our property and also the unique flavors of whiskey to our guests. So we're excited about it. It's been received really well by our guests and also our staff, and really looking forward to bringing it back next year. That's a great question. I think the 3 E's, the evolution of food and beverage, people want the evolution is happening. There's an experience that happens, and guests don't just go out for dining anymore. They want an experience, right? And then there's also education, and that education happens for the guests as well as their staff. So I think bringing these things, not just for a one-day event where there's 4 hours of people just drinking whiskey and leaving, guests really get to experience everything from different types of whiskeys from around the world, and 4 unique days and different types of events that are happening around the property. So it really helps us showcase the property overall versus just one room, and really just showcases the great amount of whiskeys that are available, just not locally, but also internationally and also domestically. And I think it gives the consumer more education as well as their staff. Whiskey Week definitely gives Bally's an opportunity to showcase our property, right? From a year ago, we've implemented so many great restaurants, from Longo's, Martini and Meatballs, to Water Dogs, and all of these guys, and also our FanDuel Sportsbook. So it gives the guests really a great opportunity to check out restaurants, get to check out the experience, and really get to taste whiskeys that aren't available to them usually on an everyday basis. And also,
opens up their palates of food and beverage, and also if they're at home, how to really taste different food with whiskeys. So it's a win-win for us, and overall just really showcase our property and where we're going to go in the future. Once again, I would just go back to an experience, right? We want the guests to come back because they get a great experience, and a great experience happens from when they walk in the door with our great amenities that we have, as well as just great guest service. And I think these whiskey weeks give us the opportunity to educate our staff to deliver really great world-class service, and also for the guests to experience something different that they wouldn't get at any other casino, because of the unique opportunity that we have. Once again, not just delivering a 4-hour event, but a 4-day event, and gives the guests multiple ways of experience something at our Bally's property. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I think, Bally's will continue to deliver some really great events in the near future. Whiskey Week is just the start of a lot of amazing cultural events that we'll be having, both culinary as well as on the beverage side, and we're looking forward to hosting our guests at our property. But upcoming Super Bowl party is going to be amazing. Our culinary team has really created some really good dishes for our Super Bowl, and also Valentine's Day. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. We have about 6 or 7 great signature cocktails, as well as some really great food items that we'll be serving to our guests. So if you have a chance to make a reservation, I would highly recommend make a reservation at either Jerry Longo's Martini Meatballs, Guy Fieri's Chop House, or also Water Dogs for that experience. And hopefully we'll see you at the Super Bowl too. And don't forget the Olympics, right? 3 weekends cheering on the USA, and we got some really great Olympic cocktails and food offerings for you to enjoy and cheer on USA.